We're gonna make a virgin margarita, but is it possible to make a virgin margarita actually taste like a margarita? So listen, I'm gonna be working with two non-alcoholic spirits that are on the market. One has been out a while, another one is new to the market. I just wanna be really clear, I'm not sponsored by any of these brands, I'm not being paid by any of these brands. It's really me just trying to give you as much information as possible, and myself, of what's really the best out there. And I gotta tell you, I love making virgin cocktails. I've got many different links on this YouTube channel of making virgin cocktails. I've got two spirits here, non-alcoholic spirits, that I wanna try and see if we can make this work. One is called Naked Lady, and one is called Ritual. Ritual is a spirit that's been out for a while, much more common to find. It's also available online. We're gonna supply all the links to these in the description as well. And Naked Lady is a new spirit, non-alcoholic spirit, that's out of Louisville, Kentucky. And they're doing something interesting where they're taking the actual spirits like gin, tequila, bourbon, and because alcohol has a lower boiling point, they're burning off the alcohol so that the flavors of those spirits are still there. I think with Ritual, what they're trying to do is take a flavor profile and then build into it, right? Adding smokiness and vegetal notes and stuff. So before we make these cocktails, I thought it was great to let's do a taste comparison of how these are on their own, okay? So let's go. This is the taste of Rituals. Let's do a little taste of that. Smell first. The smell has a quick little smell of tequila. It's hard to tell if your mind is looking for that or not, but there's definitely, I could almost taste that characteristic of a little bit of smokiness, a little bit of vegetal. Wow, it's got some spice in there too. So there's a spice in there. It's got a quick little flavor profile that's similar to tequila. What's gonna always happen in this is you can't expect to have that mouthfeel of alcohol or that kind of burn. So it goes fast. It's like boom, boom, you know, it goes fast. All right, let's check out the Naked Lady, okay? The Naked Lady it doesn't seem very tequila-like, but there is one strong note there that's in that vegetal realm, okay? But I'm not picking up any smokiness or anything, so let's give it a taste. Yeah, that's just very plain. I don't have a lot of characteristics. This has so much more flavor process, but I want to note something very, very important here. I would never recommend to you, and I'm not saying it's bad, but I would never recommend to drink these on their own. I just don't think they're meant for that. I think these are meant to be made into cocktails. That's really the sole purpose of them. I think there's so many more interesting things out there that you could sip on, obviously, on its own. But I think this is what's going to be fascinating. We're going to make the margarita. We're going to make them exactly the same. And what I found in the past, things that I've liked doesn't always translate into the cocktail. So let's see if these things change at all when we make the cocktail. So I am going to keep this very, very consistent. I'm going to make these exactly the same way, just like I would do a margarita with, so it'll be 2 ounces of the spirit, 1 ounce of the fresh lime juice, and then 3/4 ounce of an agave syrup. We have a whole video on this channel already how to make a simple agave syrup. The link will be below. And then also we'll have links for these as well. So let's get started. So we're going to do 2 ounces of the Naked Lady tequila. And I believe Ritual has 4 different versions, like 4 different spirits, and Naked Lady has, I think, 3. They might have a vodka, I just don't know. And then 2 ounces of the Ritual. And also has that color of almost like a reposado, right? And then 1 ounce of lime juice for both. So the whole key here is to really have a taste test where they both taste the same, right? Or they're both made the same. And then I'm going to do 3/4 of an ounce. So a typical margarita, I always go down on the serving. So here's the agave syrup, which is a 1-to-1 ratio of agave nectar to water. I'm going to do 3/4 of an ounce. I'm going to use these glasses here. These are kind of like little mini Collins glasses. And I've got these really cool mini Collins ice cubes. And then let's give that a nice shake. we're going to do this. Let's do that shake for the same amount of time. Okay. So here is the Ritual. And then here is the Naked Lady. And I'm so interested to see if anything changed. Now, listen, even though we're doing a comparison, we're making version cocktails, we still have to have that Matthew cocktail twist on it. So I'm going to put this Cuban oregano. It's one of my favorite oreganos. It's a Caribbean oregano. Obviously, Cuba, Dominican Republic, huge in Puerto Rico. It's almost like a succulent, right? It's this fuzzy oregano. It's great as a garnish because it won't wilt at all. And then I've got these really cool little cucumber flowers. This is exactly how a cucumber starts off, right? And then it turns into a cucumber. And we're here in California in September, but it's definitely, we're going to have cucumbers and a lot of produce until Thanksgiving here. And then just to kind of keep the integrity of those, let's take these straws here, these metal straws that will have a link as well in the descriptions. And now let's do a taste test, okay? So let's start with the Ritual Margarita. I'm going to line these up so we know. So we'll do Ritual first. You know, it's good. It's got a lot of those flavors held up. You know, you've got a little bit of the spice, a little bit of smokiness. I wouldn't say it tastes like tequila, but there's definitely some characteristics. That's the cocktail to me. It's a really cool, straight cocktail. All right, now let's check out Naked Lady. The first sip of that, you taste these flavors of a margarita, right? There's a margarita flavor there, but it doesn't have all these other characteristics of it, right? But there's something that, oh my God, that tastes like a margarita. What's important though is, even though this is sitting on big ice cubes, we want to go back to it and see about dilution, okay? So let's go back to Ritual. Already that's lost, okay? I taste a little tingle in the mouth, but boom, did that drop. Great flavor in the beginning, but man, did that drop. You know, it's funny, it's like I'm not tasting tequila, I'm not tasting a margarita, but something is still lasting in that after dilution. People could say, oh, this just probably tastes like a great lemonade, but there's something that's lasting in there. So I think my recommendation is they're both equally great in a different way. I think as a plain margarita, I think this holds up really well. I think this is great to make with cocktails. I think there's a lot of characteristics, and I think I'd be interested to start making this with other things. But as a straight margarita, I really do like, it's so interesting because I didn't like that much this on its own. So somehow this is holding up and somehow this isn't, but this was greater on its own. So like I said, have fun, play with this. Essentially, you're gonna know what's really best for you. Again, we have these links in our description. Have fun, create, and good luck.